Welcome guys to the sewing part of this cargo pant trouser. So the first thing I'll be doing will be to whip the edges of my pocket cover. So after whipping the edges of my pocket cover, I would also whip all the edges of the trouser cut I made. The entire video of the making of this cargo pant trouser is very lengthy. That is why I split it into different parts. So this is the trouser cut I made. For the pocket, I used a lighter fabric because the fabric I actually used for this cargo pant trouser was very thick. So I needed to use another fabric for the pockets. So I just don't make a mess out of too thick fabric sewing both on each other. So this is the pocket cover, and I'll place it like that on one of the pockets. That is the right side of that pocket. Ultimately, I'll be placing the other on the left side of the pocket. If you want to know how I got that pocket cover, check out the cutting video. That is the first video about the making of this cargo pant trouser. When you're actually cutting your trouser, there are ways that this pocket cover comes out, and also the flaps you are using for your zipper. So all those things comes out when you are cutting your trouser. So you sew on the edge using a matching thread of the pocket. So you can see the pocket is a very light colored fabric, so very close to white, and I used white thread in whipping, so I'll definitely be using white thread for that. Now for the flap, I joined two together for one part, and that part would be the part that will contain the zip because I need that part to be very strengthened, and I'll sew on the edge to join the zip to that flap. The other part is just single. Now to sew the pocket cover on the pocket, you just place it like that, making sure it is higher than the pocket and wider than the pocket. Then you sew on the edge of the parts you actually whipped. So you just sew on the edge like that. Now that is the wrong face of the trouser. I also added interface on our slant edge, so the ending part of that part is also finished, so no need for whipping. So this is a 3 by 7 1/4 pocket, and I also notched by ½ inch. So I notched by ½ inch on the down part. So after sewing the pocket cover, you just place it like that on the wrong face of the trouser. You could see the way I slant it. So I actually slanted the pocket, then I make a ½ inch notch. So the edge of that part to the edge of the upper part was how I fixed it. So I will now fold my slanted pocket like that and make a ½ inch stitch. After making a ½ inch stitch, that is well held together. You can see the back part of the sewing. Then I'll open it up like that, and the dangling part of the pocket, I'll be sewing that edge on the pocket fabric itself, and I would also be sewing that on the edge, and I would also be using a white thread to do that, or preferably a matching thread of that color of the piece you use for making your pocket. So you could see the color disappeared on the back part of the pocket, making it have a well finished result. Then you pick it up like that and make a ½ inch stitch on the down line. After making your stitch, you open it up. If you have access to a pressing iron at this point, you can just use your pressing iron. But if you are a bit good at sewing, you don't really need to press it before you sew. After straightening it out, then you sew on the edge. You readjust it like that, then sew the trouser piece and the pocket together on the edge of the trouser piece as well, on that part like that, and also on the upper part like that, just that part and that part. So after sewing those parts together like that and the down line, you've succeeded in rounding up the making of the pocket. Next is to trim the excesses of the pocket. So you just trim the upper part and also the side like that, and that's that. Then you will whip the edge to the pocket point. So So you also do the same for the other trouser leg as well. You whip from the pocket point upwards like that. After whipping both edges, we'll be joining the back and the front piece together. After joining the back and the front piece together, we'll go straight to the making of the cargo pocket. So you just place them right face facing right face, and you make a half-inch stitch on the edge like that. So that half-inch stitch will start from the ankle line up until the waistline. So you just make your stitch like that. And after making your stitch, you would also fold the waistline and make your dart. So how you do that is you just fold the back piece, only the back piece, into two. Then you make a 4 inches dart to the edge like that. So the dart is actually half-inch wide on the waist part. Then you sew it to meet the edge on the 4 inches mark. That's just that. So normal trouser requires you opening the stitches with your pressing iron, but this is not a normal trouser. So what you do instead is to arrange the stitches to face the right side, that's to face the back piece. So both stitches will face the back piece. Then you sew your double stitch on the edge like that. You make 2 stitches. So on the next part, I'll be showing you how I made this cargo pocket. So this cargo pocket was actually made from scratch, and that was the next task we did immediately we finished making the double stitch on the side of our trouser. So after making that double stitch, the next thing we did was to make this cargo pocket. So just check out the next part of the video and you'll see how we did it.